Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Boss Rush Games. I'm your host, enlightened and excited ADV. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, we're back doing the thing.
Doing the dang.
We're doing the thing. How's it going, Ed?
It's going good.
Great. Glad to hear it.
It's getting a little bit colder, so the snow is going to be coming in. I'm just like,
I know, I'm freezing right now because it's cold in my house.
I thought I could kind of wear my t-shirt, but I'm having my hoodie on. And nope. That was just like, it's good 10 minutes. I said, yeah, the sun is coming back
on. Good times, though, right?
Very good signs. But Corey, we have some Patreon shout-outs to do.
We do. So, yeah, if you want to support Nintendo Power Block and Expansion Pass, you can head over to Patreon, patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Patreon is a monthly subscription-based service where you can support your favorite creators and get perks at specific tiers. We currently offer 2 tiers with more to come. The $1 early access tier, which grants you early access to 5 of our podcasts, and our most popular tier, the $5 Patreon producer tier, which grants you early access plus a Patreon producer credit shout out across our family of shows. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of the blah blah Nintendo Expansion Pass. I almost said the Boss Rush podcast. It's the Expansion Pass are Adriel Munger, Always on Deck Comedy, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian Skipper, my wife, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. If you subscribed after November 28th, which is the date we're recording this episode, apologize that we didn't get to you. We will get to you on the next episode. We're kind of recording a few out of order, but just so you know. But yeah, I want to thank all of our Patreon producers, all of our patrons, and all of the people who listen for free. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just offer a few perks to those who support us. Just a heads up, we will be adding some more tiers in the coming months, including our community interaction tier, our Boss Rush Party Night tier, and more. I think it's important to reiterate that our current tiers, our $1 and $5 tiers, will not ever change. They will not change. We will also be changing the URL of our Patreon in January to Boss Rush Media to reflect the vision and continuity of our company moving forward. So just a little bit of heads up for you patrons out there, or you free listeners who are not yet subscribed. So yeah. Also, for those of you asking, early access pertains to the Boss Rush podcast, Boss Rush After Dark, Expansion Pass, Talk the Walk, and 1v1. So yeah, you can get all those shows 1 or 2 weeks early. Very excited for that. And yeah, if you are a free listener, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're watching the YouTube video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell, leave a comment, all those things. And we truly appreciate your support wherever you get your podcasts. I don't know why I said podcast like that. That was really weird. It's like podcast.
You have to end it in a certain way.
That's fine.
Well, Corey, I said I had a surprise topic for you.
You did. I don't like surprises. You know that.
Well, it's
that's why I don't tell anybody when my birthday is or what anything else important. I hate surprises.
Oh wow. But the surprise is that, it's 2022, and Nintendo has released 3 games that ended in 3. Bayonetta 3, Splatoon 3, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Mm-hmm. And they each have did something very successful they did the numbers that we didn't expect that they would do, but just really good numbers. And I kind of wanted to ask you, has there ever been a sequel um from Nintendo that you actually enjoy, that you really wish more people play?
Yeah, Mario 2. I mean, I know that's like a cop out answer, but I think there's a lot of sequels actually that I think are better than the original that I don't
Mhm.
think get a lot of love. Uh, Mario 2 USA. Uh, for those who don't know, it was a reskinned version of Doki Doki Panic, which was a platformer in Japan. They reskinned it over here because nobody knew what Doki Doki Panic was, and probably
Mhm.
wasn't going to sell to an American audience in the '80s. But also, uh, a lot of people in Japan thought that Mario 2 the real Mario 2, quote unquote, was too hard for American
Yes.
audiences. So they reskinned Doki Doki Panic into Mario 2, which I think we got a lot of iconic things out of that, right? Like the Luigi flutter jump and the turnips and the Shy Guys and
Yes.
Birdo and uh, Wart, right? Like I know I'm only half kidding. Wart's not that iconic, but he's iconic to people who played Mario 2. Everybody wants Wart to come back. Uh,
I would do want him to come back. I want another game like
you know what would be great?
Super Mario Bros. 2.
You know what would be great? If we got a sequel to Super Mario 3D World set in the world of Mario 2 and Wart was the bad guy instead of Bowser.
Uh, Please give that to me.
That would
I
be
will take it.
like, I mean, Super Mario 3D World is my favorite 3D Mario game, and if we would get a sequel like that, that'd be so cool.
Hmm.
That'd be super cool. I don't know if I would want like I would want power ups, right? Like I wouldn't just want to throw turnips and stuff, but I wouldn't mind a cool kind of environment change from the stuff that we know. Like I mean, I know a lot of those levels are very different and they all look different and stuff, but they're all based around stuff we've seen before, right? And I don't think Mario 2 gets enough love. I really don't.
Yeah, I know it definitely gets this love because of the soundtrack. Like that. That's yeah.
Remember in the beginning where you just kind of like fall out of a door? It just starts where you fall out of a door and you have to
Yes.
fly all the way down to the bottom and like not hopefully don't land on the platform with the shy guy that's about to hit you. Oh man.
It's
And
so weird.
no, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's so weird with the first level because you're falling down screen by screen. But when you get to the almost the end part to find Birdo, you're climbing the vines going up and up, screen by screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh and then like you use the like the jars that you go down with the keys and you you throw the
Hmm.
stuff and then the door appears and you go into like the dark world and to pick up the mushroom or the coins or the whatever else and then the second world has the scary masks. The second
Oh,
level has the scary masks that chase you and like you're trying to fly on the magic carpets before they disappear and that
mm,
game is so weird, man. And then like they train you through the whole game to go through the bird doors and then the one random door just shoots at you and you have to like not die.
yeah. I think that's why it's such a wonderful game. Like you said, it's wacky, it's odd, but it's fun in everything that you do with it. Being able to choose between four characters and like go through that world and everything. And the music is just so good.
I know the music's
Like I
awesome.
said, even the boss fights, like Mauser, you know, that's like he was like the kind of enemy in the game over King Ward in a sense.
Yeah, I can hear the music too, like the what do you call it? The thing, the what do you call it? The gambling thing. Um
Oh,
and like
yeah.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, and then it's like do 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 do, and then it just goes to the next level, making you feel all sad because you didn't win. It's just like
That's,
ah,
I used to try to get those cherries all the time and it never
yeah,
worked. So,
nope,
oh,
nope, nope, nope. But that's one sequel I would pick is Mario 2. Love that
man,
game.
I
Oh,
think
I love that game.
definitely for me, it's always going to be Super Metroid, Metroid 3. Man,
Oh,
just
yeah, people like
that.
Super Metroid though.
But this is the thing with Super Metroid. Think when I was a kid, when because Super Metroid had just came out, and my cousin had it, and we played it over the summer and everything. And it was kind of my first introduction to Metroid because I played the original one on NES, but I couldn't get, I never finished it because I just didn't understand it and everything. But I spent my summer playing that game with my cousin, and I ended up, one day he was just gone. I was at my grandma's house, and I ended up like literally beating that game. And it was just like, okay, now I get what this game is about. But it was just like all the little not cinematic, all the little kind of like cut scenes and stuff happening, and hearing the music and the fighting and the weapons and stuff. It was just something that I guess as a kid I never knew was able to be done and was able to be put into a video game. And it was just like I complained not one time at Super Metroid. Even if I die, I was just like, okay, let me press start and let me go.
Yeah.
You know, man, shoot. No, because see, Legend of Zelda 3, which is Link to the Past, that was another big one on Super Nintendo. But like Super Metroid was just one of the best for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. But you said sequels that I think people should play, and I think a lot of people have played Super Metroid, and you switched it up on me.
Well, I said ones that you definitely enjoy and yeah, that you wish that more people play and stuff. I think with Super Metroid, um, a lot of people haven't played Super Metroid in this time in this day and age, and I think people started playing it because of Metroid Dread coming out last year. So, um, I think that's one of the ways that people were just getting back into it and probably wondering why it's on so many top 100 lists of games, regardless of where it plays at and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Um. Let's see now. What other sequel would I like people? I mean, I would really like people to play Super Mario 3D World. If I'm completely honest, I don't think enough people have played that.
Yeah.
Also, the new Super Mario Brothers U game for Wii U, also very good.
Mhm.
What other sequels, man? Uh, I'm trying to think of like obscure sequels that people may not have played or that were weird. Um, man, what do you have another sequel, Ed? I mean, I guess like I don't think Majora's Mask gets enough love.
Mhm.
Um, I think there's a lot of revisionist history on that game, but I don't think
I
people really played it when it came out.
mm-mm. I think people started playing it when it came to Switch Online. Um, it's just that timing thing. And maybe I need to go. I definitely need to go and play through it because of some stuff for next year that we're going to be doing with the Zelda series.
Yeah,
Um,
which we should probably start over Christmas break. Just throwing that out there.
yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, I would agree. I think Majora's Mask.
hmm. They didn't like what you were about to say about Majora's Mask, so they silenced you.
I really feel like that game needs to be a remake. so bad.
See, I think if they do like I know it's probably not going to happen for a while, if at all, but like, I think if they do an Ocarina of Time remake, I think they need to remake Majora's Mask also, like, and package them together.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
your face is frozen in either deep thought or constipation.
Eh. Am I moving now? Am I still stuck?
No, you're stuck. You need to turn your camera off and turn it back on.
Oh, dang it, Skype. Come
It's
on
Skype.
now.
Look, I know we've been having some recording issues, everybody, especially for this show, but um, side tangent, and I guess we'll talk about it on Power Block tomorrow, which is probably a couple weeks ago by the time you hear this. But we are going to probably start recording either via Zencaster or through Riverside FM, which is similar to Zencaster. We'll see, just so we can get our audio and video quality up and skip our and kind of take a break from the live stream stuff, just because
Mhm.
we don't draw a lot of viewers on the live stream, and I would rather our video and audio quality be better for those listeners, since we get much more of those listeners as opposed to the live stream stuff. So yeah, but that'll probably start this week or next. Anyways, continue, Ed. Sorry, you were talking about Majora's
Uh,
Mask.
yeah, it's just the time mechanic for that game for me. So I just need to sit down and literally dive in to play it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
I do have another
But yeah,
sequel that people should play, Ed.
go ahead.
No, well, are we done talking about Majora's Mask?
Yeah, we are.
Because I just, well, I have one more thing to say about Majora's Mask. I think
Eh,
that game does a lot of interesting things with time
mhm.
management and puzzles and stuff, where like the entire game is basically one giant puzzle if you want it to be, right? Like, you have to
Yes.
know where people are on certain times of day. You have to talk to people in a specific order on certain days. The mask, like trading all the masks before the end to get the Fierce Deity mask, is also like, there's a lot of cool things in that game. And like, when I had time to sit and play it, and like, I think if I played that game now
Hmm.
as opposed to when I did, I think I would hate that game because it would stress me out like beyond belief. But I really loved it when I played it. Of course, I was like 12 or 13 and had all the time in the world and no friends. So, you know, I mean, I beat it 100. I bought the guide and beat it 100% in a weekend. So,
Mm.
I mean, I
Wow.
mean, I had a lot of time.
Wow.
I didn't have any friends. Okay. But yeah, Majora's Mask is cool. I think if they ever do remake Ocarina of Time, they're gonna have to package Majora's Mask with it, though. I just think
Hmm.
that they need to be a package at this point.
Yeah.
So, uh, which, to be honest, I would actually just take the 3DS versions and port them to Switch and call it a day.
Oh, I think between worlds, please, Nintendo put that on
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah.
I will
Which,
replay that in a heartbeat.
yeah. By the way, everybody go listen to our what 3DS games need remakes on the Switch episode. It was a good episode.
Yes, it was.
uh, like I said, we're recording all these out of order. So the other sequel, I know this is kind of like a weird one. I don't know if it counts or not, but people should play Near Automata. People should play that game. Um,
Yeah, that counts.
I didn't play the first one, to be fair, but I think I might play Near Replicant on something that it's on after I play
Mhm.
Near Automata. I think
I
that, like,
I I really feel like that game is coming to Switch next
I
year.
know I do too.
I really think it's a as an E3 kind of it feels like a right summer game to be enough at E3.
Yeah,
And like I don't know if a shadow drop is good for it. I don't it's just that I don't know, but it feels like summer would be a great time for it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for that game to come to Switch. I think Nier selling what it did in the first month or two definitely proves
Mm,
that there's an audience for that game. And I know that Nier is different than Nier Automata, but I think Nier Replicant will be coming.
yeah,
So
it has to. I think because of how surprised people take it. And see, and I don't know the sales of how that game did for Near Automata. But I heard that it jumped it up like I think 5 to 5 million. Like I think it
no, well,
did
it's at 7. It crossed
seven.
7
Okay.
million. Well, as of November, end of November, it was at 7 million. Uh, which like so the last recorded numbers were 6.5 million in
Hmm.
what, July or August, and which means if it's at 7.1 million, the Switch version sold over 500,000 copies in a month, which
That's
is
good.
pretty awesome for that game, right? So
Hmm.
uh
Which I don't know. That game feel like it had some distribution issues because it was hard to find that game at Best Buy, but like
I mean,
Target has some.
I it's $30 on Amazon right now. So I mean, I think you just have distribution problems. I think that
Well,
I just think you have distribution. I have never had an issue with a game arriving late, not being able to find it in a store. Like I've just never had that issue.
Well, it was surprising that like I said, when Best Buy didn't have it, I was expecting them to get it because they get a lot of Square Enix stuff, definitely on Nintendo. So to see that they didn't have it, but Target did, like Target only got like one copy, I think, one or two copies. And
Yeah.
the one that they gave me was just like, well, this is the display copy. This is the last one. So I'm thinking that they only sent two. So that's why I'm just like that. There may have been like a distribution issue
Well,
because when
also,
Best Buy don't have it, that's weird.
I mean, I know that game sold 7 million copies, but that game's still like a niche game. Like somebody who
Hmm.
plays only games only like casually or whatever, not gonna know what Nier is, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I think, but I think, man, that game is so good, man. And I'm not just saying that because you play as two sexy anime girls. Like I think that game is genuinely interesting and cool and fun, and the combat's great. And uh, yeah, everybody should just play it. Just play it.
Yeah. Uh, one for me that I think people have returned to or still interested. One of the games that I we definitely recommend, I think, is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah,
I think that game is so good. Dark Moon was fine on 3DS. I mean, trust me, it was a really good game. But there was something about Luigi's Mansion 3 that I'm just like, oh, I'm enjoying all of this wackiness. So, um, and it was weird this October that people were jumping back on the game because they were just like, yeah, we want something spooky, but we want that casual spookiness. And people were just went back to Luigi's Mansion to finish it.
hmm
So I really think that one is a good one. Luigi's Mansion 3. Like the cutscene still opening, that opening cutscene, everybody just still wonderful.
yeah,
Um, to me. Now, what I do hope next year, and come on, Nintendo, I need Captain Toad Treasure Tractor 2. I need a sequel to that game.
yeah. I'm
I'm
actually
really
shocked they
fan of.
didn't. I'm actually shocked they didn't make a sequel to that. I know they added levels to this one, but like,
Mhm.
I still feel like that game should have gotten a sequel by now.
Yeah. Uh, and Yoshi's Crafted Story. Out of all three Yoshi games, should I count the DS one? No.
Which one?
Uh, no, four Yoshi games. I'm sorry. I forgot. There's Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's 64, Yoshi's Island on the DS, I think. Yoshi's Woody World and Yoshi's Crafted World.
Mm.
Uh, uh,
Those
no,
those are
no,
some games.
yeah, but Crafted World. Oh, it's just the. I think that's the best out of all of them. With the level design, the challenge, the music, the boss levels, really, really good. Just so good.
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah. Um. So the other another sequel I think everybody should play is Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. Um.
Yes.
If you like
Yes.
if you like the new Donkey Kong Country games, you're gonna love this game. It has the humor of like Banjo Kazooie, but the gameplay is totally Tropical Freeze esque.
Hmm.
Uh, it's I mean they even pulled level designers and gameplay designers from the team from Tropical Freeze to help make this game, and it shows right like the minecart. It has everything from like the minecart levels to like weird jungle and beach levels to like it definitely feels like a pseudo sequel to the Donkey Kong games. And so
Yes.
I mean I know Ukulele was mediocre, right? The first one.
Mm.
I mean I liked it well enough. I never finished it, but I liked what I played. Definitely felt like a love letter to Banjo Kazooie, but this Ukulele and the Impossible Lair is a top notch 2D platformer that uh,
Yes.
especially if you like if you prefer Donkey Kong over Mario, like it's oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
It
And then
really
like
is.
like the entire challenge is there's the Impossible Lair, which is like a really long hardcore platformer, and you're
Hmm.
not supposed to be able to beat it until you get all your power-ups or whatever, but people like speed run
Yes.
it and find ways to beat it without getting any power-ups. It's really interesting. So, uh yeah, Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. I love Ukulele. I think they're so cool. They're definitely. I feel like when you look at the early iconic indie characters, right, from
Hmm.
like early Kickstarter and stuff, you think of Shovel Knight. I think you think of Ukulele, and I think you think of stuff like Hyperlight Drifter and Axiom Verge. I know that those weren't necessarily Kickstarter games, but uh,
Yeah.
I'm just you think of those early Kickstarter games and early indie games. Those are the characters you think of, and man, I wish Ukulele one was better, but Impossible Air, you can't get much better than that. So look at Ed in deep thought, frozen in deep thought. Oh man.
It's just it's me being relaxed on this pillow.
Oh
Yeah.
man, good times.
I think definitely for me, I still recommend people play Super Mario Maker 2.
Hmm.
Think that one is really good. And I think there's just so much possibility with that game that people still could make some bomb levels and get out. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like it was a top tier game when it came out. People were getting it and making levels. But it kind of I think it just came out at the wrong time. It like literally kind of trickled out and faded out in
Hmm.
a sense.
Yeah. I think I think my thing with Mario Maker 2 was it was the whole thing depended on sharing levels and keeping those levels
Mm,
stored, and Nintendo like just didn't do a great job of A curating great levels and B
hmm.
getting people to stick around. I
Yeah.
mean, I think the thing with the first one is at least Nintendo had Miiverse and the Miiverse channels where people were posting levels and oh hey, if you didn't catch my level on the game, here's my level in Miiverse. You can check it out, right? And we had some stuff with Discord for a little bit that kept us going when that game came out, but like
Yeah.
nothing super great. I mean I wasn't a big Mario Maker guy. I made a couple levels and made you and Matt and people that we used to work with play them, but you know it was fun, but ultimately there's no, it just doesn't do a great job of curating and promoting. So
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
great idea though. It's a great tool, right? And I actually think on that same level Game Builder Garage is probably on the same level as that,
Uh,
but in like a
yeah.
way more technical way. Um
And
and
I have that and I need to get on it.
Yeah,
designs and stuff.
that's a game that I wish I had a lot of time for. But at the same time, it's like if I had time, if I had time to do that, why aren't I just like downloading Unreal Engine and messing around in that? You know, because it does a lot of similar things. But I don't know. That's just me.
What is any more for you, Corey?
um, yeah. I'm trying to like really think here. I'm going through my list of games on the um.
So I would say everybody, No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. Oh, oh my. From the first level to the end of that game as wacky. Of course, 3 is out. But man, Desperate Struggle, the second one is addictively fun. And great boss fights, like the designs of them and stuff. Uh, it's just, it's such a blast. So I would definitely go with No More Heroes, Desperate Struggle.
Hmm,
And I think it's available on Switch, so you guys can get the game.
yeah,
Mm.
I'm trying to. I mean, I guess if we're talking about sequels, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a great one. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
have much more to say about that game than I didn't already say during Ukulele. But you know that game's on Switch and it has the Funky Kong mode, which is kind of the easy mode, and
Hmm.
I think it's a great platformer. I think everybody should play it. Uh, I'm trying to go scroll down through my list here, Ed. I have so many games for Switch. Oh my gosh.
Shit,
Uh,
I need to start updating my list. I got to put my my game collection that's back on here on my computer. So I guess because there's some stuff that I finished that I need to write that I said I completed. But then there's like a whole bunch of Switch games I need to add. Definitely with Black Friday, there's a lot of Microsoft stuff I need to add. That was,
technically not a sequel, but or I mean it is, but it isn't. Dragon Quest 11.
oh yeah.
Darksiders 2. Actually I would say Darksiders 2 is a great game if you're into Zelda slash
Hmm.
if you want a game that's kind of like Zelda and Diablo merged into one game. That's a oh my gosh, Darksiders 2 is amazing. I played it on
Yeah.
Wii U, but
Someone just did a retrospective of that game.
oh man, dude, Darksiders 2. I know people. I like a lot of games that people don't like. I don't know
Hmm.
why, but I don't know why people don't like Darksiders. But man, Darksiders 2 is just for me that's like
I
a
mean,
must own action puzzle game. Like I think Darksiders 2 is awesome.
I know when the first one came out, it was one of the four games that I got for my PlayStation 3. When I finally bought my own system. And Darksiders 2, I own it so many places. I just need to finish it. I think I own it on Wii U also with the digital version.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like I mean Darksiders 1 was okay. Like it was fun. Like it wasn't great. It
Hmm.
was like how they pitched it was like classic God of War, like the original God of War trilogy
Hmm.
with Zelda puzzles. And it was almost that, right? I mean, it wasn't as good as either of those games, but like the puzzles were fun enough and like the combat was fun. But Darksiders 2, it definitely the Assassin's Creed effect where like they had a cool concept for that first game and then they took the second game and like really fleshed it all out and added like the loot driven stuff, which I thought was awesome, and
Hmm.
the horse, right? There's no
Yeah.
place for a horse. I that voice is just so. Uh, and then like when Darksiders 3 came out, it was more of they tried to make their version of like a Souls
Souls game.
game, and it was cool, but like two is they should have stuck with what they did with two, and I understand like uh who did it? Who did Darksiders 3? Airship Syndicate?
Gun games. Uh,
Because
'Cause
One what? Well,
they were
there's two.
for virtual games,
Well, the thing is,
Gunfire games.
are you sure Gunfire did 3 or did they do Genesis?
They did the third one.
Uh, I'm looking it up because I think it's the other way around. Darksiders 3. Nope, you're right. Gunfire Games. So Airship Syndicate must have done Genesis. Um,
Mhm.
Either way, that studio, the founder is funny because the founders of that studio left to form new studios, and then THQ went under, and then and like the whole Nordic Embracer thing, THQ
Yeah,
Nordic thing happened, and then they both studios ended up getting purchased by what is now the Embracer Group, and both studios now make Darksiders games. So,
right.
uh, man, Darksiders 2, man, so good, so good.
Which is I think they just overdid it with the loot drops for that game.
Yeah, but I think that's what you. I think that's what a lot of people want from a loot game because I know people want that Diablo esque feeling where every enemy explodes with
Hmm.
like 100 things, right? But
Uh, I don't want to say Borderlands 2 on Switch also
mm,
is something because I did like Borderlands 2 on PS3.
I man, Borderlands is a series that I should love with my love of Destiny and shooters and stuff, and I just cannot
Oh,
get into Borderlands. I was even staring at Borderlands 3 today on the Xbox store. I was like,
it's dude, the box is literally sitting on my PlayStation 4, and it's just like, should I install it and try to finish this
gosh,
game?
I'm just looking at it. I'm like, this is a game that I know I should love, and I just I can't get into Borderlands. I don't know what it is. I like stupid humor. I like
Hmm.
the art style. I like Destiny and loot game, like the loot based shooters. I don't know what it is about Borderlands that I just can't get into, and I wish I did. I really do. Especially on Switch, man. That would be like my whole thing is like I want Destiny on a portable device so I can
Yeah,
just sit and play it. Uh, but man,
which reminds me, man, I haven't even got the chance to check the eShop deals. I need to hook up my Switch and check it out
hmm.
to
Oh,
see what
Ed,
snacks.
we forgot about one of the best sequels, Rayman
Ah,
Legends,
yes.
with the music levels. Oh my gosh, the
Oh,
music levels are so good.
so good.
Oh man, that game, like that, the art style, and man, I wonder what that game looks like on an OLED. I haven't even tried it.
Oh, that art style is bonkers good.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how Rayman plays in Mario Rabbids because that expansion is coming next year.
Ooh.
No yawning, Ed. You got to survive for
Another
7 more minutes, Ed.
another game that I need to open and start playing.
Hmm. Digital's the way to go, man.
Got my physical, baby. Gotta have that physical.
I mean, I do too, but I also
See,
here's the thing: I buy every game physically, and then when I decide I want to play it, I buy it digitally. That's my new
digitally.
plan.
Yeah. Which is funny that we speaking about digital science entry. I was listening to no, Newswave on YouTube, and they were talking about how when Switch first came out, people were wondering how they were going to buy SD card because it was like $200 for like a 200 gig card or something.
I
And
know.
now like you look on Amazon, there's like a 512 gig one for like $40.
I know, dude. The 1 terabyte one was $99 on sale this weekend, and
Oh,
I,
nice.
I almost got it, and then I didn't
Mm,
because I'm trying to save for a PS5 and a nicer OLED TV.
yeah. I think I think the micro SD card people were able to save up and buy some of the big ones because it was just like if my card is filled up, I'll just put a new one in and buy more games for it. And it's crazy that they were doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 512, and I know I own like probably 10 times as many games that people should own ever on the Switch, right? But like, I don't know, man. I like to scroll through the games and just look at them, and I wish I had more room to do that. Oh,
Shoot, I get to where I start want to put them in the folders on Switch. And then be like, hey, I already did this. But sometimes I wish they made that folder thing a little bit easy. Because sometimes I'll put one game in and then I'll put that same game or something else and just be like, I thought I already moved this. And then realize that I did move it twice. So, okay. One more game, Corey. Let's do one more
oh,
game.
one more game. All right, so I'm scrolling. Let me let me find one here, Ed. Let me find one
Uh,
for you. Hey, remember that game Hook? We were hooked on for like 2 weeks.
yes.
That game was so
Another
cool.
game. Yes, I just gotta get to the puzzles, figure it out and see how play around with it.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was so cool. That was so fun. Oh,
I I I would say, um, Hybrid Warriors: Age of Calamity. I would definitely recommend people playing. I know it's a Muso game. People don't care about them, but that soundtrack, that gameplay, that story, it's just so good, man. It really is. So for me personally, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I would recommend. Man, just going back there and it's like it really feels like you could play $200, 200 hours in that game and still feel like you haven't did everything. And it's such a great game. Shout out to Nintendo and Koei Tecmo with their relationship and intelligence system. Um, but even in I should say the Zelda team also. There's those Warrior games on Switch, mind you. I'm not talking about the DS one of Hyrule Warriors. I
are you
know
sure?
that game was a mess. But oh, shit. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity 2, I think it really made people interested into the Muso games. And I would never think that Nintendo would get a community of gamers to go play something that was developed from Koei Tecmo with them as a Muso game.
Well, Ed, the last sequel that I'm going to pitch here is South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Uh, Speaking of mature content, like we talked about on the last episode of Expansion Pass, that game, dude, those South Park games are so good. Like if you like Paper Mario but want really crude humor and you're a fan of South Park, that's essentially what it is, right? It's basically Paper Mario
Yeah.
but South Park, and they're not very long. I think the first one's about. I think you can finish it in about 15 hours. If you're 100%ing it, you're 25 hours. The second one is a little bit longer. I think 20 to 30 hours. I think is the second one. But like, man, it is. They are so funny, and so just corny and cheesy and fourth wall breaking. It's just so fun. Those games are fun. Uh,
Yes.
I mean I haven't laughed that hard at a game maybe ever. Those two games, and they're both on Switch, and I think people should play them, and they're on sale all the time, including right now. I think I think you can get both of them for under $20. So
I may have to give it a try.
do you?
Uh,
But here's the thing: do you like South Park?
I enjoy South Park. Yeah,
Then
I do.
do you like Paper Mario?
I love Paper
Then
Mario. You
then
know I
th-
love Paper Mario.
then you're gonna like it. I mean that's what it is. It's Paper Mario with South Park characters.
I have to treat it as a journal stick with this game.
So
Because I have it for PlayStation 3. No, Xbox One.
just get one of them. Who cares? Just buy it on Switch.
I'll probably buy both of them on Switch.
Buy them on
They under
Switch.
$20.
Just buy them on Switch.
Okay, I would do that. So. Well, everybody, that's gonna be it for Expansion Pass. Uh, Corey, thank you for coming in with some games, uh,
I
and
didn't come with any
everything.
games. Ed told me this was a surprise episode, and I think we did pretty well.
Yes.
Also, play
Um.
for all the sequels we talked about. Play the originals too, because you know,
Yes.
why not? Especially
Yeah.
South Park, because they're meant to be played back to back. Borderlands, yeah, you probably skip the first one. Um,
Dude, I literally and see. I know we're gonna be talking about 3DS, and I know I didn't put this game on my list, but I really want to be playing Fire Emblem Awakening.
mm,
I the gameplay and it's more for the story and the cutscenes and some of the characters I want to just revisit, and I feel like Switch would be such a system to do that.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think I think at some point we're gonna start seeing those games come over. Some 3DS and Wii U, like the rest of the Wii U games, some Wii games, some 3DS games. I think as we draw closer to the, I don't want to say the end of the Switch life cycle, but
Mm.
they Nintendo's been so good at filling the gaps with ports and remasters and remakes that I mean, I know we're getting a Fire Emblem game next year, but I think maybe next fall you could see some sort of something from that. So, anyways, continue. Sorry.
No, no, you're right. You're right. But everybody, that's gonna be it for Expression Pass. Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at I am Corey HG on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on the Boss Rush podcast on Nintendo Power Block and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
Yes. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code, and on Instagram. You can also find me on Talk the Walk, Nintendo Power Block, and other podcasts here at Boss Rush Games. Um, you guys, hopefully, like Corey said, that you tried the sequels that we kind of talked about and the originals. If they're available on Switch Online, give those games a go and stuff. And no, they don't all have to be Nintendo. It could be third party games, from indies and stuff, and even with the Sega Genesis stuff that's on there. I always talk about Streets of Rage 2, but I'm like, play Streets of Rage 3. I'm like, it's a good game. It's very different and challenging, and I think you would definitely enjoy it. But everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Bye.